Hey everybody, this is IndieGeek, and today I am taking a look at episode 1 of season 2 of The Walking Dead. So, what I'm going to do with this, because I do have a season pass, is that I'm going to attempt to avoid spoilers as much as possible. I will warn you right now though, if you have not played it and you want to avoid spoilers, you probably should not watch my video through to the end, because I am going to show off probably the first 20 to 30 minutes of each episode as they get released, and basically talk about how I feel about the episode as a whole. But like I said, I'm going to try not to spoil too much of what's going on. So, a little bit of backstory. I did play Season 1 of The Walking Dead, as well as the 400 Days DLC, but I played those on my PS3, so I don't have like a pre-existing save file of choices, unfortunately. But I did play through all of episode 1 last night, and kind of let it sit with me overnight, and I am going to record this video now. This should go up probably a couple days, or maybe even only a day before episode 2 releases, and then a couple days after episode 2 releases, I will do the same thing with that one. So if you like my look at this one, keep an eye out for future episodes as well. But with that being said, I am going to jump in here. And if you have not played The Walking Dead Season 1 and want to just jump in with 2, this does start with kind of a previously on, and you will get sort of a short kind of summary of what happened in Season 1. Like I said, it's unable to find a save file, and that's fine. Walking Dead Season 1 was one of my favorite games.
On The Walking Dead.
The year that it came out, I enjoyed it a lot.
What's your name?
And I'm definitely interested in seeing where Season 2 goes.
All by yourself through this?
I know who you are, and I know you're a killer.
So
It's
for
how the world works now!
Are those bad people dead?
for anyone who has not played Walking Dead, it is kind of an interactive story based in the Walking Dead universe, of course, which started with the comics, which I've read some of, and then of course there's the TV show, which I've watched some of but not much of. But where I have found The Walking Dead to really shine the brightest has been in this game series in particular. Telltale has done a phenomenal job of bringing these characters and bringing this universe
Be a dad, you know.
into a game format.
She wouldn't be exposed to what she has been with you. Die!
And so, like I said, it's released episodically. They do one episode a month, typically, once they start doing a season. And they do 5 episodes.
It's okay.
You can come with me.
No, honey. I can't.
So what's interesting is that because I don't have a save file, it just randomly generated choices from Season 1. So I actually got a different start here than I got when I played the game last night, because one of the biggest things that's different about Season 2 is that there are actually different save files. I'm pretty sure that wasn't implemented in Season 1, so that's definitely a change that I'm excited to see, because it definitely works well for doing this Let's Play. Well, not that it's a Let's Play. I don't want to call it a Let's Play. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but these are more like my impressions slash kind of review of each episode in a way. And the game is available on Steam. It is, I believe, $5 an episode is typically what they do, or you can just pay $25 now for the season pass, and you'll just get each episode as it releases. So, whatever you prefer.
What do you think?
Oh, Midge, you can't be serious.
I am.
We are not doing that.
Why not?
Because.
So, for anyone that,
Come
like
on,
I said,
Krista.
anyone who has
What's wrong
not
with
played
O'Neill?
Season
We're
1,
not calling our baby Omid. One of you is enough.
you played as Lee,
Clementine,
who we
a
saw a
little
little
healthier.
bit in the
Omid
previously
the
on.
second.
Okay, and this is
No.
kind of the bulk
Junior.
of
No.
You have to admit it has a ring to it.
how the
Omid
game
is a good
works.
name. I like it.
Thank you, Clementine.
You always agree with him.
because it is kind of
Because I'm
a
always
point-and-click
right.
adventure, essentially, but also with dialogue choices. And the dialogue choices do actually have some kind of an effect
You're not taking this
on the story
seriously.
I
at
take
times.
everything seriously, especially little Omid's future.
Keep talking, and you'll be sleeping in the rain tonight. Remember that time in Barstow?
Vegas weekend. Why don't you get cleaned up in the girls' room, Clem?
I hope the sink works in there.
I wouldn't count on it. Just be careful and make sure to keep track of your things. We'll be right next door.
So
Okay.
I will say, kind of from a review standpoint, if you're kind of looking for my general impressions of the episode as a whole, I did feel that this was a very good episode. I don't know if it's the best episode yet of The Walking Dead, but it's definitely a good one. There was a lot of action in it, and just
Gross.
a couple of interesting choices, and that's kind of one of the things that really makes The Walking Dead stand out, are kind of some of the moral choices that you are forced to make at times, and they can be really interesting. And then, of course, every episode there are kind of 5 defining choices that really kind of define your character. And at the end of the episode, it tells you how, like, the percentage of players that made the same choice as you, which is always interesting to find out.
Guess it's safe
Find
to
out
get pretty
if you are kind of typically making the same choices as other people or not. So it is a very moral game. I remember I was very, very affected by season 1 of The Walking Dead, and it had potentially like one of the most emotional endings, like, in a game that I've experienced. I was very, very moved by the ending of the first season, and I don't particularly want to give that away, although, I mean, we had some of it spoiled, but like I said, I'm not really going to talk about spoilers in detail. So we've now kind of seen the 2 major parts of the game. There are the dialogue-based parts, where we
better.
get to make choices about the dialogue, and that affects our relationship with other characters, as well as kind of just defines our iteration of Clementine, because every person who plays is going to make slightly different choices. So we all get kind of an original version of Clementine. And I guess on another kind of episode as a whole review note, I have found so far Season 2 to be very, very different emotionally and morally than Season 1, because in Season 1 you play as Lee and you're protecting Clementine, but now we're put in the role of actually playing as Clementine, and I've found it to be quite a bit tougher actually to make choices, mostly because you have to kind of think that, I mean, Clementine's essentially on her own now. Like, Lee was always there to protect her, and I mean, I guess I can kind of spoil this because it's about to happen anyways. This, like, episode 1 of season 2 really kind of changes Clementine's position in this kind of post-apocalyptic world, in a way. Not that it was, I mean, I guess you can call it an apocalypse.
Get out of there. You're not fooling me.
So I'm gonna say that's my
That's
gun.
my gun.
It's mine now.
Give it back.
Why should I?
And so these are kind of the moments that really make
out
The
here.
Walking Dead shine. And I will say, like, if you have not played The Walking Dead Season 1, I definitely recommend picking it up. You know, you can just jump into Season 2, but I feel like it's a lot more powerful to learn the whole backstory of
Come on,
Season
let's
1
see.
first.
No, that's all I have.
That's it? How'd you make it this long?
But
I'm
these
serious.
tense
What else
moments
you got?
really kind of
That's
define
it.
Don't lie to me.
why this
I'll
is such a
pop.
good game.
Give me what you got. I'm not screwing around. Come on.
Please stop.
Give me that hat.
No.
Where'd you get it? I asked you a question.
None of your business.
So,
Just
again,
give it to
if
me.
you didn't play Season 1, the hat is very important to her. And if you ever play season 1, you'll find out why.
Look at all this junk. Shit, shit, and more shit. Why you ain't got nothing good?
But
I
since
like
we're
the
at kind of a
last people I
tense
got.
part, this
They had
seems
all
like a pretty
kinds of
good
good
time to kind of discuss the
That was a
music.
good catch.
It's a series that throughout has really excellent music. You can
Just
hear the
a
music
little
now.
bit.
I mean, it's really just
You gonna cry, little
some
fish?
strings just holding notes, but
This your daddy?
you know, kind of the
Little
chord
bozo.
structures that are going on really kind of help build this tense moment, which of course culminates with this. And then as well as having great music, personally, I really like the art style. I know a lot of people, I mean, people are kind of torn on the art style. People seem to either really love it or just don't like it at all. And that's understandable because it all does kind of have like a cel-shaded look to it in a way.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
And I think the biggest complaint that people had, sorry to kind of talk over this really tense moment, so that this is kind of the strong point, I feel, of episode 1 of season 2 so far. I mean, we're not even 10 minutes into the actual episode because I talked a bit at the beginning. But, you know, 10 minutes in, we've already had some pretty drastic things happen. I'm not going to talk here for a minute, just so you can listen to this really beautiful music. Which, of course, is now done, but I think it'll come back, if I'm remembering right. There's another bit of a music cue here as well. Maybe not. Yeah, well, anyways, what I was saying was that the music does a lot to kind of accentuate a lot of the feelings that are going on. And like I said, I like the art style. You kind of just have to decide for yourself. I know some people really like it, others don't, but I don't think the art style in this case really makes or breaks the game.
Look at this. It's pathetic. The wood's too wet to burn. It's more smoke than flame. At this rate, we'll be eating this for breakfast.
It's okay. I can wait.
I do need to
All we
mention,
do is
because
wait.
I do kind of cover a lot of games like this. I mean, I've covered the Banner Saga, you know, other things
You
that
should
are
be doing this, not
are
me.
kind of story-driven and
Tending the
have you
fire
making
so you can cook and
choices.
stay warm. It's
And one of the
something you have
most
to be able
impressive
to do
things about this
Clementine.
game, of course I'm just
Otherwise-
talking over it right now, but is actually that everything is voice acted. Excuse me. I feel like that's a really strong point about these Telltale games.
Omid said that.
I know what Omid said.
I'm kind of trying to choose different choices from what I made last night just to see what changes.
I'm freezing.
You think this is bad? Wait till we get up to Wellington. Then talk to me about coal. If we make it. We still have a couple hard months ahead of us. This rain will turn to sleet, then ice, then snow. It won't be easy.
This is definitely a pretty good scene
It'll be better there.
to kind of demonstrate what I was talking
Safer,
about
maybe.
the sound,
So they say.
the music,
I don't
and
know.
the voice
It
acting.
has to be. I know it will.
We'll see.
You know,
We
we've got
just need
these
to
these
keep
really
moving north.
really good sound for like the fire and the rain kind of going on, and then the voice acting, of course, is good, and it was a really kind of ominous music cue as well. I'm actually gonna choose silence here.
I'm gonna go look for more wood. You just keep the fire lit.
I guess another aspect I need to mention is the length of the episodes. Because like I said, it is episodic, and we get about an episode a month is kind of typically the schedule they keep, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe it's an episode every 2 months or so. But that doesn't matter too much. But like as far as the length of each episode, this has stayed pretty consistent with season 1, where I feel like I get about 2 hours out of each episode, which feels like a pretty good length to me. And there's always a pretty good balance between kind of more actiony segments and more of the dialogue segments. So this is actually something that I wanted to do once I saw that the choice was there last night. I didn't do it last night, but it'd be interesting to see if it'll let me now. Okay, well first I gotta do this, and then that. So I know something that people are going to complain about, because it's the same complaints that a lot of people made about Walking Dead 1, and I definitely am not in agreement with these people, but there were a lot of complaints
But still not
that The
enough.
Walking Dead
The
doesn't really have
flames are too
gameplay.
low.
And I feel like that's kind of a really loaded choice to you know, decide how you feel about the game, because so this is interesting. I didn't do this last night, but we can burn the drawing in the picture. Or the picture, I guess. Yeah, I guess we can only choose one or the other. I actually put the wood into the fire last night, but it's kind of symbolic getting to choose to burn kind of one of those things that represents the people that she loved. And we are about to enter into one of the more actiony segments that I was talking about, and I think probably after that segment is done, I will probably wrap this up.
Where's the rest of your group?
I'm by myself.
Bullshit. She's lying. Cut the shit, lady.
It's just me.
This is actually the same choice that I made last night, but I think either way it doesn't matter too much what you choose in this situation. Sometimes you get choices and the choices don't really affect anything that much, but then there are definitely choices that do affect stuff, so
Get the fuck over here.
I guess kind of the way you could think about it is that for the most part, kind of the beginning and the end of everyone's gameplay is going to be similar. All I'm doing here is using the WASD keys to do the arrows. I suppose you could probably also do this with a controller, because you can play with a controller. If I didn't mention, I'm pretty sure this game is also out on PS3 and Xbox 360. I don't know about current gen consoles, but I know it's out on last gen consoles, as well as at least PC and Mac. I would assume probably also Linux, but you will have to double check that. So you can definitely play with a controller, but I'm using the keyboard and mouse. I feel like it's a little more accurate for stuff like this. So this is kind of where a lot of the gameplay ends up being, is we get these kind of quick time events, which are cool. I like them. It's kind of a situation where I feel like the story is good enough in this game that it doesn't need too much like gameplay. You know, I think it would lose a lot of the effect if it played out like a typical kind of zombie game, where we, you know, had a gun and we're just going for headshots and everything. I think this is actually like a much more unique way to do a zombie game. You know, focus more on the choices that you have to make to kind of try and survive, rather than on, you know, just shooting stuff, which is kind of what most zombie games devolve into, unfortunately. Another really pretty music cue here. And this actually kind of brings us to their credits. So this, I mean, this is definitely a pretty action-packed opening section. And then from here, for a little bit, it gets a little more mild for just a little bit. But I'm probably only gonna let it run for another minute or two. Probably just kind of wrap my thoughts up here and call that a video. But like I said, I will definitely be doing this for future episodes as well. And I suppose if you know, I get a lot of responses saying that people want to see me play through kind of the whole episode, I might do that. I wouldn't do it immediately after release. I'd probably wait until the next episode is out. You know, wait about a month after an episode is out before I did that. But let me know in the comments if you guys want to see kind of a full playthrough of each episode. I'd probably do like two kind of Let's Play videos an episode for this. So probably hour-long episodes about. They'd be pretty long, but not too bad. But yeah, like I said, I am going to kind of wrap it up here. And hopefully you guys don't mind me wrapping it up here. Like I said, if you guys want to see me play more and kind of talk about my choices a little more, definitely let me know in the comments, because that's the only way that I'll know that you guys do want to see more.
Are you there?
Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you guys are kind of good with just what I showed here. So, as I said, it's, in my opinion, it's definitely worth the money. Especially if you liked Season 1. This is a really, really great start to Season 2. I really enjoyed the first episode here, and I'm definitely looking forward to Episode 2 being released in a few days here. I guess I don't know how long it'll be until it's released when this video goes up, but yeah, I'm looking forward to Episode 2, and like I said, a couple days after Episode 2 comes out, I will also be doing a video on that, so you can look forward to that. But with that, I am going to wrap this up. So, as always, feel free to comment on anything you'd like to comment about, but specifically, if you guys want to see me do more of this, I'd definitely be up for having kind of a Let's Play save in addition to my personal play save of this, but you just let me know in the comments. I'm fine either way. So, yeah, like I said, comment, subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos, including eventually more Walking Dead every single day. And then, if you liked my video on The Walking Dead, please consider clicking the like button, because that could help me out a lot, and I appreciate everything that you do to help. So with all of that said, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.